Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for My Adventures with Superman. So there was a 2 episode premiere, so I'll be talking about both episode 1 and 2. Quick synopsis. In this show, Clark Kent built his secret Superman identity and embraces his role as the hero of Metropolis while sharing adventures and falling in love with Lois, a star investigative journalist who also takes Jimmy Olsen under her wing. This is written by Josie Campbell. We have a few different people in the voice cast, which I'll go over the main cast, and then I'll go over some more of the other characters. But yeah, so this 2 episode premiere. This is an animated show. It's airing on Adult Swim. You can also watch it next day on Max. I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's a different take on Superman. It's much more updated, both stylistically, like the animation and the style and the character designs. The characters are also a lot younger than some of the versions we may have seen in live action or read. They start as interns at the Daily Planet, which is a lot younger. Like by the time sometimes we meet Lois Lane, like she's already established reporter. But in this one, they're all interns, which also makes for great kind of shenanigans too. The show's very updated, very contemporary. Like the looks of the characters, the things they talk about. Like they mentioned that Jimmy, not only is he a photographer, but he also has his own YouTube like channel, stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of contemporary stuff in the show, which I really appreciate. I think it's interesting to see how Superman would develop in a more contemporary world where everybody has like phones and cameras and stuff like that. Let's talk about the voice cast. So the voice, Clark Kent Superman is voiced by Jack Quaid. I think he does a fantastic job. He has like this tone to him that's very sincere. Like it sounds like it really sounds like a very hopeful Superman that is learning. That's the main thing. I think in this show, one of the things that we are seeing is that Superman doesn't know a lot about who he is, where he comes from, and he's got to learn through all that. We do have Reed Scott as Pa Kent, Kerry Walgren as Ma Kent. Kerry also voices a young Clark, which is really cool. How when these actors can kind of flex their muscles like that. So yeah, we of course there's going to be issues, but we do get to see a little bit of young Clark. One thing that I was questioning is why he would wear glasses as a kid if he's not trying to hide his identity. Maybe it was before his powers fully kicked in. His vision wasn't great. I don't know. It was a interesting choice. I just didn't like it. Didn't kind of make sense to me why Clark as a kid would wear glasses if he's not trying to hide who he is. Like this was before he even discovered he had powers. Um, we also have Alice Lee as Lois Lane. Uh, Intrepid reporter, very outgoing, definitely the leader of the trio when it comes to doing stuff at the planet. She's an established intern at the planet, so that is she does have some seniority over Jimmy and Clark. Also, Jimmy and Clark are like roommates and really good friends. Jimmy's voiced by Ishmael Saeed. Once again, just another great performance. I really like the cast. They really sound like they really bring these characters to life, which is really fun. Um, let's talk about a few of the other characters. We do have Daryl Brown as Perry White. We have Zara Fassel as Leslie Willis. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil too much about the episode. But this character is a little bit of kind of the antagonist of this first episode. And then we have another voice that I'll talk about towards the end of the video when I'll give you a spoiler warning because I don't want to mention that character without giving you a warning. We also see Jason Marnocha as Jor-El, who has yet to say anything in English, which is really interesting. I think that notion of everything that the ship is trying to tell Superman about his past, it's all in the captions say Kryptonese, but the Kryptonian language. So he's only able to understand kind of visually. So it's a very neat trick for animation. We get to see some really cool flashbacks to Krypton. Like it's all there. All the pieces of the Superman mythos are there. They just look a little bit different. They're placed in different places. Like it's kind of a nice remix. to the mythology. But what makes Superman, I think, important to me, is like the first of all, he wants to help. He cares about his friends. He's madly in love with Lois immediately. So all those little things, like it checks off the Superman boxes while still showing us something cool. I will say, someone at this, whoever's working behind the scenes, they really love the concept of not so much the electric Superman, but just the visuals of that. I think it's really cool. This definitely has a lot of anime influence, and you can kind of tell all over the place. Whether it's a background that's a little bit more static, like they do that a lot, where the backgrounds are more static looking. They almost look like they're unfinished, but they give a sense of depth in the animation. I think that's really cool. Or is it whether it's the transformation that you might have seen in the trailers or some shorts if you're following on the channel, into the suit when Superman gets the suit. I think that's a really cool sequence. I think he also has a really cool relationship with his parents. I'm glad both Ma and Pa Kent are around still. Sometimes they, unfortunately kill one of them or both. So I'm glad they're both still around. So yeah, and they also set up a few little Easter eggs of like maybe future antagonists. It's a very fast paced show, like, but I'm glad that they did 2 episodes to begin with because they really wanted to tell this one story. So yeah, episodes 1 and 2, go check those out on Max. Now I will get into spoilers now a little bit for like the conclusion and what I think they're setting up for later on. So if you haven't seen the episodes, go back and watch them, then come back and finish the video. We also have Chris Parnell voicing Agent Slade Wilson. So we do have Task Force X here, when Zara Fazal's character of Leslie Willis, aka Livewire. So if you recognize the name of Leslie Willis, you knew that was going to be Livewire. She's the main antagonist for this first couple of episodes. She's taken by Task Force X. We do see Amanda Waller, although we don't hear her speak, so I don't have a credit for her yet. We also see in the background a billboard that says Amazo Technologies, which was really cool. It was a really interesting little thing to kind of drop in there. I think, Professor Ivo and Amazo, like the android, maybe will come into play later on. It would make sense specifically with the anime like aesthetic that you want to have like a mech type of villain, which we do get some in this first episode. So yeah, we got some really cool fighting. I don't know, this show's not different enough to like really uh, alienate any of the audience, but I don't know. I think sometimes people just choose not to like what they don't like because it's a little bit different. But I quite enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I'm gonna keep watching. Luckily, this drops on Thursday nights, so I should be able to watch them and maybe kind of keep talking about them. I don't know if I'll do a video for each one of them. Maybe I'll go back and talk about the season as a whole. But highly enjoy this. Make sure to check it out. Like I said, you can watch it Thursday nights on Adult Swim at midnight on the Eastern Coast. And yeah, midnight on the East Coast, and then also you can watch it next day on Max, which boy do they need the programming. So yeah, if you watch this show, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.